Love Exposure is a movie. Done. Essay over. No, Love Exposure is one of my favorite movies ever and has one of the best villains in all of cinema. And I say cinema with all the pretentious jazz that filmmaking degrees come with, that I have to sound smart and acoustic to justify a pointless piece of paper like cinema.
Films.
Cinema.
Films.
In this film, Koike, whatever. Aya Koike, played by Sakura Ando, who has these two other amazing performances. This movie in particular is sadistic, chaotic, and quite perverse, who goes through extreme lengths to be with the main character, Yu. However, love for Aya is not the same as everyone else, yet fits the theme perfectly. Now let's back up. Love Exposure is a Japanese film. Okay, we're done now. For real. Bye. No, Love Exposure is a Japanese film made by Sion Sono, director of some of my favorite movies that have left a lasting impression, such as Strange Circus, Noriko's Dinner Table, Anti-Porno. The movie is essentially just an absurd romantic comedy centered around perversion, culture, and religion. It's the type of story you'd see in Shimonetta and other weird anime. Like, the plot itself is inherently silly, and also, this is a 4-hour-long movie. Oh my gosh, I'm so gonna see a silly perverted 4-hour movie. Like, let's go right now. Perversion, yeah. Double feature with Scorsese's next picture. Yeah, Scorsese. We love the cinema. We love the Scorsese, the cinema. Cinema. We pray to the god that is A24. But seriously, this movie, no joke, it's never boring. Never. Why? Because this movie is friggin' insane. The movie seamlessly transitions into many different genres, often falling into deep trauma or psychological suffering, be it males in people's lives, religion, or the idea of love itself. And then immediately the character pops a boner and it's absurd again. There's a scene where this girl has a monologue of reading the Bible in one continuous shot that lasts like 5 minutes. And it's so phenomenal how she keeps the emotion going over Beethoven's 7th in the fucking Bible. The theme of love is prevalent throughout the characters, but the focus on this video will be on Aya Koike, whose version of love is quite disturbing. Aya Koike wears many hats. She's a dealer in the black market for forged artwork. She's a daughter of a prominent Christian whose rod of God she broke off and then cut off with a pair of scissors. She also stabbed kids at school in what would surely never get made now. And then finally, a prominent member of the cult Zero Church. She basically sells drugs and religion. Arguably the same thing. Oh, and she's insane! Of course. What's truly important is her backstory. She was violently abused by her Christian father, and this abuse and betrayal by the father figure in a world where Christianity was her paradigm defined her entire life. Then she met Yu. Yu is super into sin because his father is a preacher who won't give him any attention unless he sins. That's like super simplified, okay? 4-hour movie, alright? Koike met Yu trying to steal a photo of her panties because his preacher father highly frowns on that, of course. So Aya's like, why are you taking a photo of my panties? And Yu is like, well, I'm super into sin and I need to sin in order for father to pay attention to me. And anyone else in the world would hear that and be like, okay. But Aya Koike at that very moment fell in love with Yu. But the last time Aya experienced attraction, she did this. So she proceeds to go through the most diabolical lengths to destroy this kid's life. And her plan is fucking insane. First, she cocks an insanely complicated, ridiculous plan to convert a Christian family as means of cultural dominance. A plan the leader clearly sees through as being insane, but Koike just screams at him and still gets her way. Next, she orchestrates events that lead to the kid meeting the true love of his life, Yoko, a rebel punk girl who loves Jesus because he's as cool as Kurt Cobain. And the dude falls in love with her massive hard-on, and then they have a kung fu fight with Yakuza while Yu cross-dresses as a badass lady like TJPW Saki-sama, and everyone acts like this fucking shit is just like totally normal in Japan, like it happens all the time, like okay. This is all part of Koike's plan, by the way, because then she infiltrates his school as a transfer student and is absolutely thirsty for Yu and manages to trick Yoko into thinking she was Miss Scorpion this whole time. As Scorpion, Koike convinces Yoko and tricks her by beating up more Yakuza in school, so I guess it is a thing that happens happens all the time in Japan, alrighty. She enters into a physical relationship with Yoko and teases you into massive horniness, manages to gaslight the entire family into believing their own inferiority. Even the priest, who went on this whole insane arc with this crazy woman, begins to doubt God. The purpose: crumble the family. Koike succeeds at school, spreading used peek-a-penny photos in school because you gotta watch the movie. He gets kicked out and shunned by his family, all employed by Koike to get them into the church and force you into action. An hour later in the movie, and you finally infiltrates the Zero Church where Koike expresses herself sexually to you, and he denies despite her many advances, because as ridiculous as it sounds, you only gets a hard-on for Yoko, and there's a strange Freudian reason for it too, but when Koike realizes this, she doesn't react in disappointment. No, she was happy for this. You is not like any other guy. In one singular moment of vulnerability, Koike allows herself to cuddle her head on his body. The next day, Yu acquires a bomb, infiltrates the headquarters, and starts killing everyone in the scorpion costume. If that seemed out of left field, it's actually not. This is a 4-hour movie, goddammit, with many threads, and every single bit of it is needed. Yu confronts Koike and his family on top of the cult headquarters and blows up the bomb. And the police are on their way, and soon the cult will dismantle, but not before Aya gets her final wish. Because Yoko still hates you, and it's this hatred that causes you to snap. The cops arrive and pull away as Yu just breaks completely down, mentally collapsing. And this is what Aya Koike wanted and spent an entire 4 hours of a movie trying to get, and she gets it. Oh boy, she gets it. Finally, someone else is just like her. The same broken down person beaten by the faith that dominated her paradigm. For her, this is love. In a movie that explores love in many arcs, this is perhaps the most perverse exploration of the theme. Aya responds in the only way she ever knew how. Her plan worked. She succeeded in her desires, and now she can finally release. There's so much I left out from this movie, and the final 30 minutes are why this movie needed to be so long, because when it drops, it drops, my friends. The ending is so good and worth watching how these characters recover. This is why I find Aya Koike to be one of the finest villains in cinema. Because her plan was super long, ridiculous, and complicated beyond logic, but she still won in the end. Except it was never about winning for Aya Koike. 4 hours of an exploration, all so Aya Koike could finally be exposed to love. All so she could finally orgasm. 4 hours, by the way.
Films.